Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Winter, and this is a quick tip about scans, both for Terran, how to use them, when to use them, and for Zergs, Protoss, and other Terrans, and how to at least relatively negate them. First off, scans 50 energy off the orbital command. You can see a large area, it gives you detection, and everything in this area will be seen. Even though the animation is slightly smaller, you can see the entire radius. They added that in Legacy of the Void. So you scan a main base, you can see everything up to the very edge of the scan. Even if you only see the tip of a building, you only see the very tip of a command center, you will still see that command center. That's something to point out as well. Now, what I notice a lot from newer players is how they place their scans. You want to scan a base, then it's not great to scan, like, right here or something like that. I mean, that can work, but you're not getting your maximum information. Or you want to scan to see if they have this expansion, but you don't know they have it yet. Scanning there is not the best idea. You know where you want to scan, like, for example, a big timing is early on, is do they have an expo? Don't just scan for the expansion. Scan in between the bases. You see here, I would be able to see the very edge of the expansion, and I see maybe he has a starport, or maybe he has a few extra gateways, or some sort of tech if he's Zerg. Usually against Zerg, that's when you want to actually scan on the base as opposed to in between the bases early on. And, of course, if you're going for a Banshee, you don't always want to scan. Say you have a turret in this mineral line here, and a Banshee's coming in. You don't want to scan on the Banshee. You want to scan to where the Banshee wants to go to get out of detection range. Stuff like that. Little things all over the place. And, of course, a scan is pretty expensive. It makes it so you can't drop a mule or drop supply. So, if possible, if you want to scan, like, want to see if they have a new base, it's better to send out a unit, especially if you're not doing anything else at the moment. Another thing is scanning for armies. First off, ideally, you want to have units out on the map or anything like that. But if you're going to scan for armies, they're probably not going to be on top of a base. Maybe scanning something like this. You only need to catch the edge of an army. Like if they have a bunch of Roach Ravager, you see 5 Roaches and Ravagers over by this third base. You know where most of their army is. So scanning kind of where the edge of the army would be is usually better than scanning exactly where the army would be. Is something to point out. Scans are not something you should use sparingly, but you should try to minimize them as much as possible. They're more important. The more SCVs you have, the more important scans become, because you want to see, obviously, am I walking into an army? Is there any sort of detection? Maybe there's an observer or something like that. But the big ones are using the scans between the bases, and also for the other races, like you'll see Protoss players, they'll put a pylon and they'll put 3 gateways over here on the edge of the base, because they know a lot of Terran players will just scan like that, which is not a bad place to put it, but maybe think about it next time, get a feel for it, and not try to overlap your scans, or have dead space, like right here. You see I'm wasting some of my potential space that I could be using to scout for more information. So just a little bit of stuff there. There's a lot of details that go into it, but hopefully that gives you the basics of scans and counter scans and how higher level Terran players think about when using their scans. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Have fun. I'm Winter. Have an amazing day.